Okay guys, welcome back to Pollywood with another video, and this time we're going to be doing a
The Division Survival DLC.
DLC review. Even though I'm not the one who's playing right now, it's actually
Yeah, but you're the one
Chris.
who's the cameraman.
I'm the cameraman and basically giving a little bit of, well, I have played it not too long ago. I've been playing the survival DLC. Is that what's this called, the survival?
It's a survival, yeah.
Okay, so would you like to just tell what survival is basically about, even though it's a little bit self-explanatory, but...
Yeah, well, as the title says, survival, pretty much you have to survive. It kind of does have a little story to it. Pretty much like the virus that infected the whole entire city has been found, like an antidote or whatever. And you have to go and find it, but on the little problem is that there is a storm that's happening. In the meantime, you're gonna have to go pick it up. So it kind of like puts you in a position where you're trapped outside in the cold weather, and you have to like find food, medicine, and a lot of stuff to like pretty much survive.
That's basically it?
Pretty much.
See, I wouldn't even be able to give you guys that information because I'm literally a newcomer to the Division. And even though I don't own the game on my PlayStation 4, it's actually a really good game. Like it has some kind of realism, even though there's a lot of things that it doesn't seem like realistic. It has somewhat realism when it comes to, like, I guess, gathering stuff. At the same time, it's not really realistic. Does this game take place in somewhere in the future? It does, right?
I think like near future.
It's like a near future, like a dystopian future, sort of like that. Yeah, so it's basically something like that, which it's okay, but for something that has to be a survival-based game, I would have actually appreciated if they did something a little bit more realistic. If you guys or you guys don't.
They did mention like even before, like when the game got announced like a couple of years back, how it was going to be an open world RPG type of game. But yeah, I mean that's what it is. It's just pretty much anything that's an RPG is kind of like not realistic, because you look at most RPGs games and they're either like World of Warcraft and Skyrim and Elder Scrolls Online, things like that.
And for an RPG game, do you think this is a good one? Like, do you have a lot of things to do in this type of game?
I mean, when the game first came out, there wasn't too much things to do, but now like we're not like currently right now there is a lot of stuff.
Is it due to updates or DLCs?
I mean, there were some updates that changed the game a lot. Like the big update, like there was a big update. I can't remember if it was called 1.4 update, the 1.4 update, or 1.04 update that pretty much gave it a bigger boost in like a lot of things. It was like a really big update that supposedly changed the game a lot. I didn't play at that time, but apparently I heard it was a pretty good update. So I'm playing it right now. I really couldn't tell too much of a difference. Just like there's like more stuff that you can do now in the world, to according to it. But pretty much we're kind of like getting off on the DLC. So pretty much the DLC is self-explanatory. Just survive as far as you can, and I haven't beat it yet because it's actually the last part is a little hard.
I can tell. I only. Keep it on this?
Yeah.
Sure, why not?
Yeah, so I was saying like when you find the antidote and you go and extract it, some enemies that's just like way too overpowered that wasn't really prepared.
Let me just zoom in on the gameplay even more. Okay, there it is.
So yeah, I woke up with water.
Woke up with water, wearing a hazard suit or whatever, a backpack that's big as hell, and look at it, it's Chris's character, beautiful face. Yeah, I tried playing this. I did very poor, only with the 690 or 80 score point.
Yeah.
For a beginner, that's good for me, but in Chris's eyes, he was very disappointed. He thought I would get the hang of it, and well, I am a newcomer to this game. I haven't played anything of it. It's like any other third-person controls. Like, it's easy to handle. There's different things obviously about it. I'm not gonna say it's like every single third-person shooter game, but to get like the basic controls around it, yes, it's exactly like every other third-person video game out there. I only survived, I believe,
17 minutes.
17 minutes, whereas Chris at least survived how long?
Like 30 minutes or more.
30 minutes out of an hour.
I kind of rushed like through like both of my gameplay, but yeah, pretty much.
Isn't that the point? Aren't you supposed to rush at the same time, like get a lot of supplies and rush?
Yeah, but I mean, like when you're nearing like the end, like towards the end, when you're in the dark zone, I think you're supposed to take it a little slower because the last part when you're trying to get all the enemies, I mean the thing extracted, the antidote, it's becomes a little much more harder because like those overpower enemies just come and then I wasn't really prepared for them. Like I wasn't like I didn't know they were really gonna come because they're level 30. They have like the I think it's like the orange type of bar that means like they're elite characters. And I wasn't prepared because I did since it's like you start the game kind of like from scratch, meaning just you don't have all your gear that you had. You're still rank 30, but you don't have all the elite gear you had as before. So you just start off with like pretty bad gear, guns with pretty much no mods, and you don't have any skills. You have to like pretty much craft. Like I will show you.
You gotta gain your skills.
Yeah,
basically.
you gotta find them pretty much. It's pretty much this game. All it focuses around is crafting. It's pretty much
crafting. Basically anything that has to do with survival base,
Yeah.
such as crafting.
So this is the main thing that you need to get into a dark zone. Once you get in there, you have to build a flare gun. That's really all you need to like beat the main thing. But in the meantime, you're gonna also have to like buy, I mean not buy, create and make clothing in order to stay warm outside when you're running around. Because sometimes apparently in the game, it can get up to negative 33 Celsius. I'm pretty sure, which is pretty cold. And when you just wearing something really light, you are gonna freeze to death. But this is what I mean about like you have to like buy your skills. I mean like buy craft your skills, which kind of makes a little no sense, but I'll go with it.
At the same time, it still has to get with the gameplay mechanics.
Yeah.
It can't be like everything has to kind of make sense, you know.
Yeah, it's kind of true. So yeah, pretty much like this is the main thing. Once you have everything and you're ready to call for the extraction, this the main thing you're gonna need when you're gonna go there to pretty much fight those I would say like mini boss because they are kind of hard to beat. So yeah, that's pretty much one thing you are gonna need. Then after, like in the beginning when you start off, you just have pretty primitive stuff. All gears still green, like level scores 38, like, pretty low, bad. Only a pistol when you start, and the warm clothing is just pants, shirt, and shoes that are like two like I don't know how to say like really light, like just light gear that's not gonna keep you that warm easily.
And you basically have to craft your own clothing after you loot some fabric or whatever.
Yeah, fabrics. Fabric and tools are pretty much the two main important things in this game that you have to find. Because you are gonna like that's the two main things that you need for crafting in there in this game. So finding those two things is gonna like put you a little at advantage by in crafting and like finding a lot of good stuff. But at the same time, this game also does depend a lot in the medicine. Because without the medicine, you are going to pretty much die. Because in the game how you start is, you have pretty much what's called like a disease that's gonna kill. It kills you over time. So this game you can't just survive. It doesn't like pretty much put you at like a whole entire like how do I say it? You can't. It's not gonna let you like be in this game in the server for like the longest time. So you're gonna have to like restart over and over in different servers.
Alright, I'm just gonna pause this for a second right now.